Ngozi. Her uncle's voice came out small, like a man who had practiced what to say and forgotten every word. She was standing in front of the gate she had been picturing for 7 years. The gate she had chosen herself from a catalogue in London, in a cold flat, on a Tuesday night when she could not sleep, except the gate was not there. There was no gate, there was no house. There was nothing but a stretch of red earth, some unplastered blocks sitting in overgrown bush, and the sound of wind moving through a place that was supposed to be her family's home. Ngozi stood there, her suitcase at her feet, her return ticket still warm in her bag, and for the first time in 7 years, she could not speak. Before we go any further, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It really means a lot to us. And drop a comment below. Where are you watching from? Now sit back, relax, and let us begin. Ngozi Obi grew up in Abia State, in a village called Umueze, where the roads turned to mud when it rained and the electricity came and went like a tired relative who never stayed long. She was the firstborn, 5 children total. A mother who sold tomatoes at the market, and a father who drove a truck across state lines and came home smelling of diesel and distance. They were not poor in the way that destroys people. They were poor in the way that teaches you, that shapes your spine into something strong. Ngozi was shaped. She was the kind of girl who sat in the front row, who carried her textbooks wrapped in plastic to protect them from the rain, who helped her mother count coins at the end of the market day without being asked. "This one will carry this family," her father used to say, not as pressure, as a fact. The way you state the weather, she believed him. When Ngozi was 24, a woman from the church offered her a way to go to the United Kingdom. Not a scam, not a trap. A proper domestic work visa through a verified agency. The job was real. The contract was real. The opportunity was as real as anything Umueze had ever seen. The night before she left, the whole compound gathered. Her mother killed a chicken. Her father said a prayer that lasted so long people sat down on the floor halfway through. Her younger siblings held her hands and would not let go until it was time to enter the vehicle. "Ngozi," her father said quietly, when it was just the two of them, "whatever you find there, remember what you carry inside you. Remember who you are." "Yes, Papa." "And take care of your mother." "Yes, Papa." He did not say anything else. He just held her face in his hands for a moment, the way you hold something you love and are afraid of losing. Then she was gone. England was grey in a way that had nothing to do with weather. Ngozi worked in a care home in a town called Swindon. She woke up at 5 in the morning. She bathed elderly men and women who called her by the wrong name. She cleaned, cooked, lifted, and smiled through 12-hour shifts on feet that ached down to the bone. She shared a room with 2 other women from Ghana. The room had 1 window and 1 heater that worked only sometimes. She did not complain. There was no one to complain to. What she did instead was save. She saved with a discipline that frightened even herself. She ate the cheapest food. She wore the same 3 sets of clothes for 2 years. She walked to work when she could so that she did not have to buy a bus pass. And every month, on the 15th, she sent money home. The first transfer her mother called within the hour. "My daughter, nay, God bless you. We are praying for you every morning, every morning. How is everyone, Mama?" "We are well, we are well. Your father's health is a little up and down, but we are managing. Your brothers are in school, and the house project, Ngozi, the house is coming. Your Uncle Emeka is supervising everything. Tell Uncle Emeka I said thank you. He knows. He knows. God will reward you, my daughter. This was year 1. By year 3, the calls had a rhythm to them. Ngozi would send the money. Her mother would call. Her mother would tell her that the house was progressing, that the boys were fine, that things were moving forward. Her uncle Emeka would come on the phone briefly and say, "My daughter, you are doing a wonderful thing, a wonderful thing." Sometimes Ngozi asked for photos. "Photos?" her mother would laugh. "When you come, you will see with your own eyes. Why do you want pictures like a stranger? Come home and see your house." And Ngozi, who was working a double shift and had not slept properly in 3 days, would laugh softly and say, "Okay." She trusted them. They were her family. What else was she supposed to do? By year 5, her father had died. She found out by phone. A Tuesday morning, she was in the staff bathroom when her younger brother Chukwudi called, his voice broken and strange on the other end. She slid down the wall and sat on the cold floor and cried in a way she had never cried before. The kind of crying that has no sound, the kind that just shakes your body until you are empty. She could not go home for the burial. Her visa did not allow it. She missed her father's funeral. She sat in England and grieved alone while her family buried the man who had called her his hope. After the burial, she sent more money. Enough for a proper ceremony, enough to cover everything. Her mother thanked her, her uncle thanked her, everyone thanked her. She doubled her monthly transfers. For Papa, she told herself, for the house, for the family. By year 7, Ngozi had sent enough money to build 3 houses. She had the records. She kept every transaction. It was a habit she had developed without knowing why, writing the amounts in a small notebook with her father's name written on the cover. She looked at the numbers one evening and felt proud. Not for herself, for them, for Umueze, for her father's memory. She booked a ticket home. She did not tell anyone. She wanted to surprise them. Walk through the gate, see their faces, see the house. She had been picturing that moment for 7 years. She arrived in Umueze on a Thursday afternoon. Her cousin Adaeze was the first person she saw, not because Adaeze came to receive her, but because Adaeze was at the market, wearing a dress so new and bright it caught the light from 30 meters away, 2 phones in her hand, hair freshly done. "Ngozi!" Adaeze screamed, then immediately looked nervous. You're back! We didn't know you were coming." "I wanted to surprise everyone." Adaze's eyes moved quickly, the way people's eyes move when they are calculating. "Let me take you home," she said. They drove through Umueze, and Ngozi noticed things. She noticed that her mother's old compound had a new generator. Loud and big, the kind that costs serious money. She noticed that her brother Chukwudi, the one who was supposed to be in his final year at university, was sitting in front of the compound in a plastic chair, watching a television set that had not been there before, wearing slippers that looked more expensive than Ngozi's best shoes. "Brother," she said, stepping out of the car, "what happened to school?" Chukwudi jumped up. His face went through 5 emotions in 1 second. "Ngozi's sister, we didn't know you were coming." "What happened to school?" I took a small break. I'm resuming next semester." Her mother appeared from inside the house. She looked well, very well. New wrapper, new headtie, a gold chain around her neck that Ngozi had never seen before. Ngozi, my daughter! She rushed forward with wide arms. God is good, you came. Ngozi let herself be held. She breathed in her mother's smell, shea, butter and wood smoke, the same as always, and for a moment she did not think about anything else. Then she pulled back. Mama, take me to see the house. Her mother's smile did not fall. It shifted just slightly, the way a flame bends in wind. House? Nay, you just arrived. Rest first. Eat something. We will go tomorrow. Mama. Ngozi's voice was quiet, firm. Take me now. Her uncle Emeka appeared from around the side of the compound. He was wearing new shoes. He was holding a cold drink. He looked at Ngozi, and the cold drink stopped halfway to his mouth. Uncle Emeka. Ngozi looked at him directly. You have been supervising the construction. Take me. Nobody moved for a long moment. Then her uncle looked at his shoes. And that was when Ngozi knew. They drove in silence for 40 minutes, away from the main road, away from the part of Umweze where people lived, to the edge of a stretch of land that felt like it was forgotten by everyone. The car stopped. Her uncle pointed. There were 4 walls, unplastered, cracking in places, no roof, no windows, weeds growing up through the foundation like the land itself was trying to take back what had been started. No gate, no compound, no garden, nothing close to what Ngozi had designed and paid for and dreamed about from a cold flat in Swindon. She got out of the car. She walked to the walls and touched them. The concrete was rough and cold under her hand. She looked up at the open sky where the ceiling was supposed to be. 7 years, she said. Her voice was not loud. It was almost calm. That is the most frightening kind of pain, the kind that has run out of energy to cry. 7 years I sent money. Every month, without fail. When I was sick, when Papa died, and I could not come home, I still sent money. When my shoes had holes in them and I could not afford new ones, I still sent money. Her mother was standing by the car, her arms folded across herself like a woman standing in cold wind. Ngozi, I can explain. Mama, I have the records. Ngozi turned to face her. I have every transaction I ever made. Every single one. Do you understand what I am saying? I have the numbers. Silence. Chukuri is not in school. The house is 4 bare walls. Uncle Emeka is wearing new shoes and drinking cold drinks in the afternoon. And you, her voice finally cracked, just once, like a single line appearing in glass. You are wearing a gold chain I have never seen before. Her mother began to cry. Ngozi, I am sorry. Things were hard. The economy was difficult. The building materials became expensive. And sometimes Sometimes you just what, Mama? Her mother looked at the ground. She could not finish the sentence. Because there was no good end to it. There was no reason that was enough. Not for 7 years of lies on a phone while her daughter was scrubbing hospital floors in a foreign country. Her uncle Emeka cleared his throat. My daughter, in life sometimes these things... Uncle. Ngozi looked at him, just looked at him. And the silence that followed was so complete that even he went quiet. Ngozi turned back to the 4 walls. She stood there for a long time. She thought of her father. She thought of his hands holding her face the night before she left. She thought of the way he said, "Remember who you are." She thought of every cold morning, every double shift, every birthday she spent alone in a foreign country because she was saving for her family. Every time she told herself it was worth it, because one day she would come home and see them living well in the house she had built with her own suffering, and she understood. Standing in that field, in the shadow of 4 broken walls, that the family she had been suffering for had never fully understood the weight of what she was carrying. They had seen the money. They had not seen the cost. Ngozi did not shout. She did not curse. She did not do what grief often tells people to do. She walked back to the car. She picked up her bag from the back seat. "Ngozi, where are you going?" her mother called. "Mama, I love you. That will not change." Her voice was even. "But I will not stay here tonight." She called a driver from the roadside and went to a guest house in town. She sat alone in the room, the lights dim, her transaction notebook open on the bed. She went through every page, every number, every month. The next morning, Ngozi went to the local government office and found a land lawyer. She pulled out every document she had, the land title, the building permit, the receipts her uncle had sent her when the project first began, before the lies became routine. The land was in her name. Her father had insisted on that 7 years ago, before she left. It was the one thing he had insisted on. "Whatever you build," he had told her, "make sure it belongs to you." She had listened then, not knowing why it mattered. Now she understood. 3 days later, Ngozi sat across from her mother at the guest house. She placed the notebook on the table between them. She placed the land documents beside it. "Mama, I have 3 things to say." Her mother sat with her hands in her lap, her eyes red. "First, Chukwudi goes back to school on Monday. I will pay his fees directly to the school from now on. Not to you, to the school." Her mother nodded, slowly. "Second, I am going to finish the house. With a contractor, I will hire myself. I will supervise it myself. Nobody else will touch the money." Her mother's eyes filled. "Third," Ngozi paused, "I forgive you, Mama, not because what you did was small, but because I refuse to carry bitterness back to England on top of everything else I am already carrying. I forgive you. But we will not pretend this did not happen." Her mother reached across the table and took her hand. "My daughter, I am sorry. I am so sorry. I was foolish, I was selfish, and I had no right." "I know, Mama." They sat like that for a while. 2 women at a table in a small guest house in Umueze, the ceiling fan turning slowly overhead, the sound of market traders outside the window. Before she flew back to England, Ngozi went to her father's grave. It was on the edge of the family compound under a mango tree. Someone had planted a small garden around it. She did not know who. She knelt down in the red earth. "Papa, I came home." She touched the ground. "It was not what I expected, but I am still standing." The mango tree moved in the wind. "I remember who I am." Sacrifice is one of the most sacred things a person can offer. But sacrifice without accountability is not love. It is an open door that some people will walk through again and again without ever asking what it cost you to hold it open. If you are carrying people from afar, carry them carefully. Keep your record. Know where your money goes. Trust your family, but verify what you are trusting them with. And if you discover that the people you sacrificed for did not honor your sacrifice, do not let that break you. Let it teach you. Let it reshape how you give. And then keep going. Because the greatest thing about people like Ngozi is this: they do not stop. They do not become cold. They simply become wiser. That's the story of Ngozi. Now we want to hear from you. If you were in Ngozi's position, what would you have done? Would you forgive your family and rebuild, or walk away completely? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We pour our hearts into every story we tell. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.